Now, if you're somebody who has been struggling with protective styling and you haven't really seen the benefits of protective styling, or you have found that protective styling is not working at all for you, then this is the video for you. This is also your video if you're somebody who's looking into enhancing the benefits of protective styling. Hey there, kings and queens, welcome back to another edition of Daisy's Talks. When you here, my name is Vongai, commonly known as V Daisy. I'm a natural hair fanatic. I do DIYs, I love DIYs, and I do a little bit of lifestyle as well. So that's coming up very soon. So if that's something you think you might be interested in, please subscribe to my channel. Now, I do not recall a time where I've gone more than a month without protective styling, and I have a good reason for that. I've noticed if I stay with my hair out for a very long time, my hair has a tendency of drying up faster than when it is in a protective style. So that comes with the first benefit. The first benefit is that it actually retains moisture for longer, and I'm going to tell you guys how you can actually do that. It also helps in length retention because you have less manipulation on your hair and on your scalp. So that helps your hair to actually just have a breeding ground to really grow and flourish. Also helps generally with the overall health of your hair. So I have categorized this video into 3 parts. Now, if you are somebody who is really looking into reaping the full benefits of this video and of protective styling, then I suggest that you watch this video to the end and really get to understand each category in detail. This category we are going to discuss is pre-protective style steps that you take. So I used to be this kind of person who was used to just going to the salon and having the hairdresser wash my hair and blow it out, and then we do our protective style and we're good to go. Sometimes you'd find that I'll just go to the salon and get my hair blow dried there without any kind of precautions that I would have taken before going to my appointment, and then I would actually find that it would rip my hair. And this was when I was newly natural. As I evolved as a natural, I got to understand that not every single braider understands how to take care of natural hair. And it's a thing whereby in the past, if you had relaxed hair, it was much easier for them to just wash your hair and just treat it with any kind of treatment, really. That is if they actually did treat your hair, and then blow dry your hair and put hair food. That was basically what they would do. But if you have natural hair and your intentions are to reap the benefits I've just mentioned, which are moisture, length retention, and overall health, it's very important that you take extra steps in what you do. The first thing you want to do when you are during your pre-protective styling phase is that you want to make sure that you are extra. Like, this is the time where you have to be extra with your wash day. What am I saying? I'm saying take all the necessary steps you are supposed to take in your wash day. That is to pre-poo, to cleanse, to deep condition, and to moisturize your hair properly. Now, that is something that you of course know, but I've got some tips for you that I think you should be following in order to be able to maintain, let's say for example, moisture, and to make sure that you capitalize on growth. So the first thing that you would want to do is to make sure that you actually clarify your hair. And I can't emphasize that enough, because your hair will be tucked away for a while. You really do not want to be mediocre about how you are washing your hair. Now, I know there are some naturalistas who believe that they should not be using any sulfates at all in their hair care regimen, and I respect that. So if you're that kind of naturalista, then you would want to then have something to really clarify your hair after using your sulfate free shampoo. You would want to use something like bent knot clay, for example, or you'd want to use something like shikaikai powder, so that you make sure that you have cleansed your scalp and your hair before you do your protective style. If you are not so specific, I think I have evolved from being that kind of person who follows strict rules in terms of what kind of shampoo I'm supposed to be using. Personally, I use sulfate shampoos during a time such as this, and it is not something I do so frequently, but when I want to do my protective style, especially if I know it's going to last me for a month or two, then I want to make sure that I have used a proper clarifying shampoo, and those have sulfates. As long as I have, of course, pre-pooed, and as long as I don't feel the shampoo stripping my hair, then I feel more confident using that sulfate full, if you could call it, shampoo. That you would normally reach out for either your conditioner or you would reach out for a deep conditioner. Maybe you are somebody who alternates between protein treatments and moisturizing treatments. So if you are somebody who maybe you had a particular treatment you wanted to do, this is a day where I actually suggest you do all the necessary treatments that you have to do. So for example, you would do your protein treatment. I had a video where I do a rice water, how to use rice water. That is a protein treatment that you can actually use, or you can use actual store-bought protein treatments or fenugreek deep conditioners. I'll show you guys how to do that in the near future. You want to use something that is protein filled, and then that can actually also strengthen your hair. And then after that, you want to follow up with moisturizing deep conditioner or a moisturizing treatment. When you're through with that, you want to make sure that you moisturize your hair. So you moisturize your hair whichever way you feel is best for you. But the one I have found is best for me, because I cannot necessarily go into my hair when it is in a protective style and moisturize it properly. I usually like to go for leave-in conditioners or products that have humectants in it. Why do I say this? This will help you retain more moisture when you have your protective style in. So instead of going all the way in terms of how you moisturize your hair, you can just take water with an oil, just spray it on your braids, your hair, your twists, whatever it is that you have, and you are also guaranteed that you will not have product buildup during the duration of your protective styling. The last tip I have for protective styling is make sure you stretch your hair. Now, I know this is something we take for granted, but start stretching your hair. Whatever stretching method you find to be the best, be it twist, be it braids, be it African hair threading, be it using heat, or just using cold air from your hair dryer, baby girl, do exactly that. Why do I say that? It's easier for the hairdresser, or even for you if you are a person who does DIY like myself. It is easier for you to actually protect your hair properly, protecting the ends properly into the protective style if your hair is more stretched. Of course, that is if you are going for something like braids or cornrows, something that will pick the little ends on your hair. If you don't do that, it could eventually cause a break. Of course, going to be using actual heat, and then you want to then put in your heat protectant, or you want to use your shea butter. Shea butter, I've mentioned in one of my videos that shea butter is actually a heat protectant. Now, if you guys want to see a video of me doing all the steps that I've mentioned in a video setting, I have a video and I'll link it above or in the description box below. Now, the second category of making sure that your protective styles are working for you is to make sure that you are being braided by somebody who actually understands your hair or your hair type. Now, I can't emphasize this enough, because we have a standard of beauty, or rather, let me say, of the neatness of braids by the way they are tightly made, or the way they snatch the hairline. And this is something that is so common. It's a standard of beauty that has been carried over a period of time, right? And people do not actually really realize how that is damaging to your hair. It makes no sense for you to go for a protective style and then drink painkillers after that to try and combat the pain that you would have been feeling, it doesn't make sense for you to go and get a hairstyle or a protective style just for your hairline to keep residing. There is a risk of you getting things like alopecia due to those kinds of things. It will also hinder your growth significantly, because it is not kind of giving you a surface. It's not giving your scalp an environment that is conducive for it to actually grow. So it's very important that you choose your hairstylist properly. You don't just go to any Jack and Jills, and stop doing this thing whereby you jump from one hairstylist to the next. You don't want to do that. You want to have your staple person or have your staple people. You really don't want to keep jumping from one hairstylist to the next, testing different hands. You don't want to do something like that. You're going to be doing your twists at home. You're going to be doing your twists, your braids with your own natural hair. Then by all means, make sure that you are very gentle when you're actually doing this process. Now we are getting into the third category, which is how you actually take care of your hair and the takedown process. We usually have this thing where when you get a protective style, it is sort of like an excuse to say, I don't have to do much with my hair. To contrary belief, you are actually supposed to be taking care of your hair just as much as you would if your hair was not in a protective style. By that I mean, I've just explained to you how you have to have moisturized your hair with humectants. You want to make sure that you're spraying your hair with water. You want to also make sure that you are oiling your scalp with some sort of growth oil or some sort of scalp oil. This will eventually help your hair to also grow. I do not really recommend that you follow the usual steps that you would when moisturizing your hair when you're a protective style due to product buildup. But if it is something that you can actually handle, by all means, baby girl, do it. Do what works for you. And then the last thing I want to mention and touch on is the taking down process. Now, I've done a video on how I take down my braids. I've done a video where I take down my mini twists. You guys will realize that I'm very gentle and very patient with doing that, and it's very important if you want to retain length. It makes no sense that you've done all the necessary steps that you have taken, your hair has actually grown, but when you're removing your braids or taking down your braids or taking down your twists or whatever protective style that you have chosen to do, you are actually breaking and yanking out your hair. You don't want to do that. You want to spray water, you want to condition your hair, or you want to make sure that your hair is generally just really moisturized and supple. You want to, if you want to use your oil, you want to make sure that your hands have oil on them. That is what you want to make sure. So be very careful about your takedown process. All these videos that I've mentioned today, I'm going to link down in the description box. So make sure you actually check it out and go and check out how I actually do all these steps during protective styling. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you found anything insightful, if I've missed anything in this video, or you have felt like you've learned something new, please do comment down below and tell me what you guys have learned. So this brings us to the end of our video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.